Hello everyone and welcome to my first episode in Journey to World Class in 2x2. So firstly, what will be my goals for this journey? So my main goal is to become a top player in 2x2, meaning a top 25 in the world official average, and also some side quests I want to achieve is a championship title, probably a national title, because I'm not at the level to getting a European championship title or a world championship title, and maybe a national record, which I don't think will be achievable because I'm from Poland, which is a very high rank speed queuing country, and also getting a pretty good 2x2 single would be great, around a 0.5 single or lower. Then who am I? I am Stanisław Orzyński, or you can call me Stash. I'm a speed queuer from Poland. I have around 60 competitions, and as you could probably guess, my main event is 2x2. I have a 1.53 official 2x2 average and a 0.70 official 2x2 single. I also have a couple podiums, but no wins yet, so another goal I will have is getting a competition win. I'm also decent at the other events, and that's basically who I am. So why did I decide to start this journey? So firstly, I'm going to say why I started practicing 2x2. I started practicing 2x2 right after Polish Nationals 2024. This was because during Polish Nationals 2024, I performed extremely well, getting a PR average 2.15 PR average, which was PR by almost half a second, and it was way under my global, which was around 2.4 back then. And also my friend Eric Kasperek pointed out to me that I have great potential in 2x2 and that maybe I should switch main events from 3x3 to 2x2. And now let's move on to this day. Why am I doing videos about this and why I'm doing this specifically now? So I had this goal to start practicing 2x2 right after Polish Nationals, and when I started getting good, I wanted to put everything in, like all the hard work into 2x2 just to become good, because I'm currently in year 12. I'm studying at a school with a British system, so I have only 2 years of high school left. And probably in the next 2 years, I'm going to go to college and focus more on my real life and drop speed cubing and focus more on my job and on my further studies. This is why probably these 2 years are my last years of practicing. And after these 2 years, I'll practice not as much as I can now, and probably I'll have to focus on more important things. But why am I starting videos right now? Not later, not any time before. I'm starting right now because there is a YouTuber called Brandon True who inspired me to start this content, so big thanks to him. He's doing videos which are pretty similar to this type of video. He's training to become a championship cuber in 3x3 to 7x7, and after seeing his videos, I realized this is very similar to my goal, and I thought it's going to be extremely good for me as well as for you as the viewer to share my 2x2 journey, because first of all, it's going to be good for me because it will motivate me to keep practicing more and be consistent with my practice. Second of all, it will allow me to spread knowledge to you and maybe motivate you to start practicing 2x2 and also share my knowledge about algs and other things. And also it's going to be a great way to keep progress so I can see everything I did and things like that. And it's going to be very beneficial for me, and I hope it's going to also be very beneficial for you. So what level I'm on now in 2x2? So I know full EG except leg 1, so I know EG1, EG2, CLL and anti-CLL, if that counts as a ALG set. And also I know a bunch of alt algs for all those alg sets, and then also I know full TCLL. And also I just started learning LS recently, around a month ago, and I already have finished learning LS1, and I started learning LS2, where I already have finished learning almost 2 groups. Now let's talk about my inspection depth. So on average I can predict around 2 solutions. If a scramble is a bit easier, I can predict a bit more, around 4 or even maybe more if it's an extremely easy scramble. But probably if it's an extremely easy scramble, I'm going to focus on the first easy solution I see. And then also on tougher scrambles, sometimes I can only predict 1 solutions, but I can predict any scramble in the 15 seconds of inspection. That no matter how hard it is, I'm quite confident about that. And what do I average? I average around 1.5 seconds, sometimes a bit better, sometimes a bit worse. I average between 1.4 to 1.5, depending on the day. Sometimes a bit worse, sometimes a bit better. And basically, that's it. I think the biggest mistake I make is that I cannot predict every single face, meaning my tracking is not so developed that I cannot predict every single face solution. So probably I will have to work on that. And also my turning is pretty inconsistent, which is also another thing I'm going to work in future videos. So how will this work? So I'm going to upload weekly summaries of progress and what I did to improve. So in these videos, I will focus on things I just mentioned to improve them, and also things I'm currently good at. So learning algs, I'm going to continue learning algs, and I'm going to finish hopefully LS and other alg sets to improve my solutions and find better solutions, more efficient solutions. Then also I would love to start a podcast with some guests, maybe some of my friends like Eric that I mentioned, or maybe Olaf, which is a great 2x2 solver, or maybe Stefan Zeider, who's also a great 2x2 solver, and maybe he can also talk about his brother. And then maybe also Tomek Pietruszka, or maybe someone I haven't even met yet, and they will just love to join my podcast, like Sujan or Zain Kanani. Then also I will post comp in my weekly summaries. I will include comp analysis to find my flaws and perfect all the mistakes I make, no matter if they're crucial mistakes or they're minor mistakes. I want to fix them all to become the best I can. And then also maybe comp vlogs to show how it's like to go to a Polish comp, or maybe a European Championship vlog, because I'm also going to Euros this year, or things like that. And I'm almost certain I'm going to post a progress montage when I'm going to get a 1.3 average, because I promised to my friend Radosław Marcinek that after getting a 1.3 average, I'm going to post a progress montage of all the fails I had along the journey to getting a 1.3 average. And then also tutorials to teach you some new algs that I know, or maybe some tricks for insertions, or maybe some other tricks I know on 2x2 and things like that. So that's everything for today. If you have any questions for me, or you want to join me in a future podcast, or maybe you want to sponsor me, be sure to email me or drop a comment down below. And that's everything for today. Peace out.